Hello. So, in last lecture we have seen how interpolation functions are developed, and now what we are going to do is we are going to actually use these interpolation functions to develop equilibrium equations at the element level. So, that is going to be the focus of our discussion in today's class, and if we have time, then maybe we will start talking a little bit about how to assemble these equations. So, in today's lecture we will develop element level equations. So, what we had seen was that our original equation, second order boundary value problem equation, which we are going to develop is this thing. So, I am going to integrate it over the length of an element, and these are global coordinates a w prime u prime plus c w u dx equals integral of x a x b w times some loading factor q, and then I have boundary terms, and what I am going to do here is I am going to express this boundary term in a slightly different way. So, this is my shape function w. In the original boundary term it was u, I have replaced it by it is w, and it is this thing is being evaluated at location x j for eth element q j e, j is equal to 1 to n, n is equal to number of nodes in element. Okay. Now, think about it, and let us look at this term a little carefully. So, this term at intermediate nodes will be 0, right, this term. No? Okay, we will explain that later. So, just hold on to that, we will come to that a little later. So, we will develop this further, and we have said that w is the weight function, and that equals psi I. So, on the left side I have a times psi I prime, and u is u equals u for the eth element j psi j for the eth element, summation of it over the entire thing. So, that is psi j, and this is for the eth element times u j plus c psi I e times u j e psi j e. This entire thing is going to be added up over the index j, and this equals x a to x b psi I q dx plus summation of w e. We will retain this till the end, then it will become clear what we are doing on the this last term, the q term. Okay. And because our, so what we see is that this whole system on the right side, it is a bilinear symmetric functional. It is a bilinear symmetric functional. So, and this is this entire expression, this is at element level. That is the first thing. Which element level? At eth element level. And this is the equation for the eth element for which node? Ith node, right. This is ith node, and it is eth element because the superscript is everywhere E. Okay. So, this is the equation for ith node belonging to the eth element. If it is a linear element, then I will take two values, 1 and 2. So, I will have two equations. In the first case, I will put psi I equals psi 1 and I will get one equilibrium equation. In the second case, I will put psi I equals psi 2 and I will get the second equilibrium equation. And I will get two equilibrium equations for a linear two noded eth element. Agreed? So, that is what I am going to do. So, in each equation, what is the unknown? Uj is the unknown. These are the unknowns. Psi I we know what are the nature of interpolation functions which we have discussed and developed earlier. Uj is something we do not know. So, I will have two equations. So, there will be two Uj's, U1 and U2, they will be unknowns, and I will have two equations corresponding to I equals 1 and I equals 2. So, we will make it more explicit. For I equals 1, for I equals 1, equation will be xa to xb summation of, I am summing it over psi 1, its differential, and this is for the eth element. So, it is a little clustered here, times psi j, again I mean its differential, and I am summing it over j is equal to 1 to 2. Okay. This is a two noded element. This is a two noded element. So, j is equal to 1 to 2, u j e plus c psi 1, I is equal to 1 in this case, right, e u j e psi j e, and I should have written dx here. So, dx is also here. Okay. And this equals xa to xb psi 1 q dx plus summation j is equal to 1 to 2 w x j e q j e. Okay. This term has I can this on the, so this is the left hand side, and let us look at the left hand side again carefully. So, LHS, I can re-express this LHS as K11. This is only for the first equation. So, I is equal to 1, times U1E plus K12 U2E, where K11, and this is for the eth element. So, I am not going to lose my superscript E, is nothing but integral x a to x b a times d psi 1 E over dx. This is times d psi, here j, this is the j1, you know. So, I am putting j is equal to 1 over dx, and again for the eth element, plus c psi 1 E psi, here j is equal to 1 E. See, each of these terms will have this term will have two components. One will be for j is equal to 1, one will be for j is equal to 2. So, this is K11 corresponds to j is equal to 1. The j is equal to 1 term will be multiplied by U1, j is equal to 2 term will be multiplied by U2. Understood? Similarly, K12E xa to xb a times du1e over dx, I am not, it is not u1, d psi d psi, and here j is equal to 2 dx plus c psi 1 e dx. Okay. I know everything in this integral. I know the limits xa and xb because I know the physical boundaries of my eth element, its coordinates. I have broken and I know what is the value of xa and xb. I know a, it is given in the differential equation which I am trying to solve. I know psi 1, we have calculated it, the interpolation function, and I also know psi 2. So, I can differentiate it, so I also know its differentials. I know c, so I can integrate these two relations to get K11 and K12E. Agreed? Okay. Now, let us look at this next function, psi 1 times q dx. So, this is still the first equation. So, this is the first function RHS 1, we will call it this first term on the RHS side. So, RHS 1 is what? Integral of xa to xb psi 1 q times dx. This I call it as f1 e. Okay. This is f1 e, and this term is RHS 2. So, this I call it as Q1 of E. Why is it Q1 of E? Here W I am putting it as psi 1, first variation. When I put psi 1, W is psi 1, right. The value of W, which is psi 1, at first node is 1, right, and at the second node it is 0. So, at the first node it is 1, and at the first node it gets multiplied by this q. So, at the first node what is the value of q? Q1, you know? this is what, this is Qj. So, I get Q1e from here, and the value of psi 2, psi 1 at the second node, I am summing it over j, right, this is Qj. The value of psi 1 at the second node is 0. So, this term becomes, the second component of this term is 0, है ना? So, this is Q1. So, this is RHS 1 and this is equal to RHS 2. So, my overall equation becomes K11E times U1E plus K12E U2E is equal to F1E plus Q1E. Agreed? Now, so this is one equation. I have two nodes in the element. So, I can take what? The second value which I can take is I is equal to 2, and I can do the same mathematics like that, and I will get another equation K21 U1E plus K22E U2E is equal to F2E plus Q2E. Agreed? Or I can put this in matrix form. I can call this as K matrix, and a lot of times this K matrix is known as the stiffness matrix, at least in solid mechanics. This is my vector for each element, and this equals some force vector Fe plus some secondary variable vector QE. Okay. And this K is also having a superscript E, because this is all specific to. The other thing is, you look at K12. K12, when you look at it, it is symmetric in 1 and 2. If you replace psi 1 by psi 2 and psi 2 by psi 1, it is symmetric. So, you will see that K12 is equal to K21 for this problem. Okay. So, your stiffness matrix, the K matrix in this case, because we are using the weak form and it is a second order differential equation, the K matrix is a symmetric matrix. It is a symmetric matrix. So, all element level equations for this equation will have K matrices, and if it is a linear element, what will be the size of the matrix? 2 by 2, 2 by 2, and they will be symmetric matrices. If it is a cubic element, then the only thing you have to do is, here J is equal to 1, 2, 3, and I will become, in first case 1, second case 2, third case 3, so it will be a 3 by 3 matrix. So, your element matrix, K matrix for a cubic element will be, quadratic element will be 3 by 3, for a cubic element it will be 4 by 4, and so on and so forth. But now you know how to calculate the matrices at element level, both the K matrix, the F vector and the Q vector. So, this will conclude our discussion for today, and in the next class we will learn how to assemble these equations. Okay. Thank you.